Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my top 5 holiday palettes and an honorable mention, and I'll explain. I did film my top fall palettes and I will link that video below, but I kind of couldn't narrow it down to 10. I narrowed it down to like 15, 20, and then I realized that I could honestly have like a whole separate holiday category, meaning like Christmas and New Year's. So my top fall, I would say Thanksgiving kind of falls under that category. So these are my top 5 holiday palettes for like Christmas and New Year's. These are palettes that I used last year, and I am going to be posting photos just so you can see how the palettes, performed and everything. And I did check, and most of these palettes are still available. Some you do have to like go on Amazon or a third-party vendor, and I'll explain which one I couldn't seem to find online. I could be wrong, but because they're my top favorite, even if they're not available, I'm still gonna mention them because you might still have these palettes. And if you haven't noticed, I did get my hair cut for the holidays, and I decided to wear an ugly sweater. And this one is Game of Thrones, I drink and I know things. So because I'm shooting a holiday video, I did want to kind of get into the holiday spirit and I wanted to get cheesy. So I decided to wear this year's ugly sweater. So I am going to an ugly sweater party in a couple weeks. And I'm like, well, I'm only going to wear it once this year. So let me go ahead and put it on and film my video in it. I am House Stark, but I like Tyrion. So it's the only reason why right now I'm wearing Lannister. Only because of Tyrion and because I do drink and I know things. And that is the only reason why. So let's go ahead and jump into the video with number 1. And this isn't in any particular order. There isn't a number 1 palette or anything like that. This is just like top 5 palettes that I used last year during the holidays that I will more than likely be using this year because I love the way they performed, or I love the colors, or something about it was unique. So first I'm gonna do my honorable mention. And this was in my fall palettes, but I didn't have it because I gave it to my sister, and then I realized I loved it too much, and I've never had this much of like, oh, but I really loved it. So also had 5 times the points, and then I had points, so I didn't really pay too much for it, and that's the Gingerbread Spice palette. This palette is gorgeous for fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and it's a really good companion palette to the one I'm going to mention next. But I had to have it again in my collection. So here it is, live and in color. This palette, it just screams holidays. You can still pick this up. I did get to see the extra spicy one in person, and I like this one more. There's only one color in the extra spicy, it's like a green color, that I absolutely love. But other than that, this palette is just amazing for the holidays. So this is just an honorable mention because it was in my top fall palettes, but I wanted to mention it because I did end up going out and picking it up again. So another palette that just screams holidays to me, and it's a great companion palette to the Too Faced Gingerbread palette, and that is the Gold palette. This palette is so amazing for the holidays. It has the best silver in my collection. The best. Here's a finger swatch. Do you see that? It's like liquid silver. I mean, blinding. You see that? Let me scooch over. I did this for the holidays last year using the Too Faced Gold palette, and like I said, the gold and the silver in here are just absolutely stunning. I'll go ahead and do chocolate gold as well. So I really enjoy this palette. Like for New Year's, it's a great palette. It has some of the best metallic shades. This is primarily a metallic palette, which is why I think it works really nice with the gingerbread palette, which does have more mattes in it. These are, I think, really nice companion palettes. So next up, and I did check because I wasn't sure if this was still going to be available, but it is, and that is the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy Friendcation palette. And this palette just screams holidays to me, especially night holidays and New Year's. So I did use this palette to create this New Year's look last year. These shades are just very, very wet and metallic like the Too Faced ones, but the shades in this, like this shade here, kind of like a black but with like a blue undertone. I did put a base down in this look, but this is the shade that I put on top, and it's just so like wet, especially when you wet it, which I did wet it because like when you swatch it, it comes off a little bit more, not as intense. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wet it now so you can see how wet it looks. So when you wet your brush, that shade becomes like a liquid, leathery, wet looking shade, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And again, if you don't wet it, it has more of like a matte look to it with like a blue undertone. And then I did use some of these other ones, like this shade here that looks a little bit more like a gold, comes off more green. So I did this during the holidays as well. But yeah, this is just a really great holiday palette, especially if you like those wet looking metallic colors. And then you have your staple mattes to really create a beautiful look. This palette I am actually wearing on my eyes. This is the palette that I don't see online anymore. I was able to find it like on Poshmark, but again, I do enjoy this palette. It is a little hard to work with, and I'll explain. And that is the Pat McGrath MotherShip Sublime Bronze Temptation palette. This palette is just very holiday to me. I mean, I created this red and green eye look. I do enjoy this palette. Like I said, it is a little hard to work with. There's a lot of fallout, so you're gonna wanna do your eyes first. But it comes with these really nice mattes that really blend out beautifully, as well as these really pretty metallic shades. Now, this green shade is not the easiest shade to work with. You really do have to wet this shade. And then this duochrome shade, I would definitely lay down another color underneath it, just because it is a little bit more, I don't wanna say sheer, but it's not very opaque. Like, it's not a very strong metallic shade. This shade tricks me. Like, sometimes it looks cranberry, and then sometimes it looks like brown, and then sometimes it looks orange. I don't think you can pick it up on camera, but it does pick up on the eyes. I did create a much softer version of this because I didn't have a base. And then this reindeer look. So this one I used my Urban Decay Heat, but I did for the top metallic shade, this shade here, I did pop that on top. I don't know if you can tell, that look is it's more cranberry. And I feel like when you use that shade on its own, that's when you get like the duochrome. But when you layer it, you can get more of a deeper shade. So that's nice when you mix it with something. But then on its own, it just shifts. Like, I don't know if you can see how it shifts to like an orange. You can really pick that up in person. So I don't know if it's that one shade is why I really, really love this palette for the holidays, but the mattes blend out very beautifully. I do have a little bit of trouble with these two. These two shades are just a little hard. Actually, no. So I'm wrong. This middle shade and this shade are very creamy, and then this green and this corner champagne shade here is very crumbly. So I will say that you do have to wet it. They are a little tougher to work with. But other than that, a very, very beautiful holiday palette. So now, let's go into a more affordable palette. Now this one screams Christmas. Not Christmas like nighttime, not Christmas like red and green, but Christmas like snowy, like a snow bunny kind of Christmas, like maybe going skiing. And that is the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. This palette, I created this look right here. I mean, you get your cranberry shades where you could create a really pretty, you know, holiday look. I was gonna declutter this palette last year, and then I had said, I might hold off because I really am getting a holiday look with this. Not that every holiday look has to be green and red, but I saw something with this, and again, I created this look, and I absolutely love it. Juvia's Place has one of the best formulas. I love their color stories. They're right up there with expensive palettes, and you get it at a fraction of the price, as well as they are always throwing sales. So I did want to put this up here because I thought this was a really great affordable option, because I like to give you guys an affordable option. And then the last one, this probably is like a favorite. it probably is number one. It is pricey. I got this last year for Christmas from my mom, and that is the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And this palette, I don't know what it is about it. I've created some looks that to me are very holiday, maybe more on the New Year's side. So pretty. So I created this look here. This teal and this really beautiful color here. When you mix those together, they create this really nice foresty teal green. And then you have this color here that's like a duochrome, where it looks like it could be a gold, but it's got like a little green undertone to it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but then it shifts to like a pinky color. Super, super pretty. And we'll do that down the side here. Do you see that? It's just... And that layered on top of another shade is very pretty. Those are my top 5 holiday palettes. And I own a lot of palettes. I own like 60, and I do like to categorize them. And these are the palettes that I just reach for, you know, during the holidays. So yeah, let me know, what are your favorite holiday palettes? What do you like to use like for Christmas and New Year's? And let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And if you like me and haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload. And until next time, guys.